Well, another evening shot for 8 to 10 minutes of joke telling time. You start to think of all the reading or the writing or the movie watching or anything you could be doing. You start to really feel your mortality and how finite your life really is. And then you worry that on your way to the show, you might collapse because of how incredibly oppressive is this notion. Even though I suppose, like what good is a content comic? But at the same time, it's confusing though, because oftentimes it's when there's this genuine nervous energy present that there are the best sets, because it simply comes across. You can say most anything, but you don't always want to be uncomfortable at home with your roommate or something like this. Anyway, so we get to the room and your contemporaries, like there's a 35-year-old man who announces that he's given up on love. And who knows what it means to him, and maybe it's for his own good. But I thought that he should have been the one making those jokes and not the other comics, although it was all in good fun, truly. But the thing is that I find what's a problem I think in comedy is when you don't understand why the audience is laughing. I was on stage once and the heckle I received was, "You're too Jewy." I think I asked him for clarification or something. It was a joke about the Holocaust and how something about how the Jewish inmates would they'd working on the Sabbath, and how they'd attempt to employ like a Sabbath goy, but it's just that the homosexuals weren't very good at digging. The shovels were very heavy. Anyway, it's very, you have to understand, there's a lot of context involved maybe. Anyway, so no one appreciated that. But then I got off the stage, and this one guy in the audience who had been really into the set, in the spirit of camaraderie, he said, "Hey, and the jokes that I tell are not they employ the Holocaust as subject matter, but they don't denigrate, they don't trivialize the experience or the severity of the suffering." And so this guy says, "Why do Jews have such big noses?" And I said, "Because the air is free." And then he goes, "What's the difference between Jews and canoes?" And I said, "Why are you telling me these things?" And he said, "Well, we're telling, Jewish jokes." And I was like, "No, these are like genuinely anti-Semitic things you're telling me. Whereas on stage, I'm doing something wholly different." And he didn't get it. He just didn't get it. I don't know what's going to happen next time. I tell those jokes. There's no ending to this one. I just accepted a 6-minute set for this evening.